If a rowing machine could actually make you look forward to cardio, which one would it be? Stick around, because this list flips a few assumptions and ends with a clear winner. I've been testing 7 popular rowers, from budget-friendly magnets to gym-grade legends. Along the way, I'll share what felt great, what didn't, and who each machine is really for. And yes, I'll be a bit critical early on because some of these have quirks you should know about before dropping cash.
7. MERACH rowing machines for home. First impressions, the MERACH ships as a compact, quiet, magnetic rower with 16 resistance levels, a dual rail feel that tracks straight, and a quoted max capacity around 350 pounds, which is generous for the price tier. The big upside is how quiet it runs. Magnetic systems like this are whisper level and apartment friendly, so it's easy to sneak in a 6 a.m. session without waking anyone. You also get app-friendly basics for tracking, which is nice when you want a little structure without going full subscription. But, well, here's where the budget DNA shows. The resistance is adjustable, sure, yet at the lower and mid settings, it's more steady cardio than gut check sprint. Cranking it up helps, but advanced rowers will still top it out on intervals. A thorough hands-on review also pointed out a limitation in stroke length. The handle path can stop in line with the foot plates, which keeps you from reaching that deep catch position you see on Water Technique, so it feels more like a 3/4 stroke than a full one. If you've never rowed before, you might not notice, but once you're tuned to form, it's a thing. The base sits low, great for stability. But if getting down to a low seat is tough on the knees or hips, that setup isn't ideal. On hardwood, the base can scoot a tad at high cadence, so plan on a mat.
Number 6, Sunny Health and Fitness Compact Adjustable Rowing Machine. This one is different. A compact hydraulic rower with 12 resistance levels, Bluetooth app connectivity on the smart version, and a super light footprint around 20 to 23 pounds, depending on configuration. The pitch is simple, tiny, portable, easy to stash, and it gives you a full body session for not a lot of money. If space is tight, that part really lands. You can fold it, wheel it out, and store it in minutes. Now a reality check. Hydraulic resistance feels very different from air, water, or magnetic. It's joint-friendly and quiet, but it can heat up and drift over longer intervals, and the stroke feel is less linear. This Sunny model's compact seat glide and piston feel are fine for short circuits and conditioning, but on 20 to 30 minute steady rows, the resistance personality can change as the fluid warms. The monitor is basic, time, count, calories, and while Bluetooth on the smart unit gives you app metrics, it isn't going to replace a serious performance monitor. Also, heavier or taller athletes may find the range of motion and stability a bit limiting versus full-length magnetic or air rowers. Here's where it shines. It's quiet, nearly apartment silent, with ergonomic pivoting pedals that help if ankle mobility is limited. And the quick setup means no excuses, barrier to entry. For circuit days, row, push-ups, squats, it's a plug-and-play calorie burner. For serious rowing technique or hit sprints, you'll want more headroom.
5. Concept 2 RowErg, Model D. If the rowing world had a gold standard, this is it. The Concept 2 RowErg with the PM5 monitor is the machine most gyms, boathouses, and CrossFit boxes rely on, for a reason. The PM5 is the best data tool in the game. It tracks split, distance, stroke rate, watts, calories, and lets you pick from multiple screen modes including force curve, pace boat, and large print, with AN plus Bluetooth Smart for heart rate, and USB logging to take data between machines. The monitor wakes as you pull. The rower even powers it while you're working to save batteries. On the drive, the air resistance scales perfectly with effort. Pull harder, it pushes back harder, so sprints feel honest and base work feels smooth. You can choose standard legs at a 14-inch seat height or tall legs at 20 inches if ease of getting on/off matters. The footprint splits into 2 pieces for storage, and the build is famously durable. Decade-old Concept 2s are everywhere and still going. The one downside, if we can call it that, is noise compared to magnetic. Air flywheels whoosh, so it's not the quietest for thin-walled apartments. Also, the seat is firm. Some love it, some grab a pad. But if the mission is performance, technique, training accuracy, and community, global logbook, challenges, online races, nothing here misses. If it isn't number 1 on this list, it's only because the top picks lean into smarter home integrations or hybrid experiences.
4. Pooboo rowing machine. Pooboo's magnetic rower aims at the do-everything-at-home crowd. Quiet operation, a foldable, compact footprint, and resistance that climbs into genuinely sweaty territory for HIIT, even with a 10-pound flywheel on some versions. You get 16 resistance levels, an LCD for time, distance, and counts, and Bluetooth hooks into apps like KinoMap or iConsole for structured sessions and progression tracking. Claimed weight capacity reaches 350 to 355 pounds, and the rail length accommodates tall users, which is a real win at this price. What stood out in use? The noise floor is impressively low. Magnetic systems don't physically contact the flywheel, so it feels smooth and keeps the living room calm. The seat and rollers are tuned for long sessions, so you can stack a 30 to 40-minute bass piece without shifting around every 5 strokes. The folding and wheels help it disappear into a corner. That matters if the rower has to live next to the couch. Caveats? Like many magnetics, the top-end resistance won't bully a power athlete the way an air rower will. Also, the monitor is utilitarian, fine for numbers, not a training computer. But for daily cardio, weight loss blocks, and progressive intervals where you want to hear your playlist and not your machine, this hits the sweet spot between price, silence, and usability.
3. Dripex rowing machines. Dripex steps up the magnet game with a dual slide rail for extra stability and a beefier flywheel system that can deliver up to a quoted 66 pounds of resistance, all while keeping noise extremely low. You get 16 clickable levels, Bluetooth app support, and an LCD tracking the usual metrics. It also stores vertically and assembles quickly, which makes it landlord approved and weekend project free. On the handle, the dual rail stability is the first thing you feel. Less sway, straighter returns, cleaner rhythm on higher rates. It makes technique drills easier and long sets feel smoother. The resistance profile is more convincing than many budget competitors. Crank it up and your legs get honest feedback, even if it still won't mimic the infinite scaling of air. The quoted sub-15 decibel noise on some listings underscores how quiet this line runs. Great for late-night training. Are there trade-offs? The monitor, again, is basic compared to a PM5. And while the claimed resistance is strong for a magnetic rower, elite sprinters may still want air or water for maximal power work. But for a lot of home athletes, Dripex feels like the refined version of budget magnetic that fixes wobble and keeps the living room calm while giving you room to grow from beginner to solid intermediate training.
2. YOSUDA magnetic or water rowing machine. YOSUDA offers both magnetic and water versions, but let's talk magnetic first. It's one of the better budget magnetics for build quality and comfort, with notably low noise and straightforward resistance control. Magnetic resistance here is adjustable via dial, quiet enough for TV-level workouts, and reliable for steady-state mileage. For many users doing general fitness, that consistency is exactly what you want. Hop on, set level, cruise your heart rate. Here's the nuance. Magnetic rowers generally top out in resistance headroom compared to air or water, and advanced athletes sometimes find the maximum setting not quite punishing enough for all-out sprints. That's not a YOSUDA-only issue, it's shared across the category. On the other hand, the low noise, smooth feel, and simple maintenance make it a daily driver for households where peace and repeatability beat the roar of a flywheel. YOSUDA's water version flips the script, variable resistance that scales with effort, and a more bolt-like feel. So if you want natural feedback and don't mind slosh and a bit more noise, it's there as an option within the same family. In practice, the YOSUDA Magnetic hits a lovely groove. Comfortable seat, predictable resistance, and a design that makes consistency easy. If the goal is weight loss, cardio health, and stick-with-it training, this lands just right.
If the goal is maximum wattage and race prep, pair it with intervals on an air rower down the road.
1. Echelon Row Series. At the top, the Echelon Row takes the home experience beyond just a rower. It's built around connected training with guided classes, structured programs, and real-time metrics that actually pull you into doing the work, day after day. The hardware delivers smooth resistance and strong ergonomics, but the reason it ranks first is the ecosystem. When a machine makes it easier to show up, the results follow. If a smart, coached experience keeps motivation high, Echelon earns the crown. Compared head-to-head with pure performance rigs, Echelon's draw is the total package effect: coaches, programs, leaderboards, and progressive plans that remove decision fatigue. It's the difference between "I should row" and "the session starts in 2 minutes, let's go." For households that want structure, variety, and a nudge of accountability, this is the most complete path to building a habit. 2 quick notes for balance. 1. Connected platforms typically mean a subscription. That's the trade for the content pipeline. 2. Purists who want fully open data standards and erg racing may still default to a Concept 2. But as a daily training partner that turns the living room into a consistent fitness space, Echelon's Row Series is the one I'd hand to most people aiming to get fit and stay there. Closing thoughts. Pick the one that matches the life you actually live. That's how a rower goes from a purchase to a routine.